Hey, welcome back to Fort Tarkin Gaming. I've got my wife again,
Hello.
and we are here to talk about Sony at E3, which is not actually happening, unfortunately.
Isn't that surprising?
Yeah, they announced it. When did they? I think it was about 6 months ago. They announced they weren't coming to E3. And then Microsoft had that awesome tweet right afterwards saying, "See ya at E3." I don't know why they. I think this is a big mistake for Sony. I know that they don't need to, and E3 was originally a trade show before, but I think that it still is a huge hype builder, and everybody's got their eyes on the video game industry, and I don't think that they should break away from that tradition.
Yeah. Well, maybe Sony just feels like, or Sony feels very confident in their fan base. Like they feel like that their fan base is going to support them in their own thing, and they might do something else to hype up the fans.
Yeah, and I also think that they are getting a little cocky, like they did with right after the PlayStation 2. They did really well, and then they made a bunch of mistakes and botched the whole PlayStation 3 life cycle, pretty much. And then Xbox was on top, and then they got cocky and botched everything. So it's just this cycle of continually repeating. I mean, do you think there's going to be anything at E3? Like, do you think they're going to have a stream? Because it seemed like they were going to just do streams from now on to announce stuff.
I hope they do something because I remember last year when we watched E3 together, and it was way fun to just sit there and watch everything all at once, all together, and find out about everything. It was very exciting. And, as many of you guys know, I'm a fairly new gamer, and last year when I watched E3 with my husband, that was my first experience of E3, and I was way hyped. Like, it got me hyped for a lot of games, and it got me hyped for games that I didn't even know about.
I know, Days Gone. I was so excited for Days Gone, but yeah, they said they're not doing anything for E3, and I know recently with Death Stranding, they just dropped the trailer, release date, and did a little bit of an info dump. A new exclusive coming later this year that a lot of people are excited for. Looks insane. Freaking Hideo Kojima is a weirdo.
Like, they carry this baby around and the baby can sense like the ghosts, or I don't know I don't know much about it, but it did seem really weird, and it seemed really gnarly. I just remember he had to like heal himself, and he had to pull his like toenail out, and I was way disgusted.
It's so weird. Freaking yeah, and it's got like Norman Reedus and that guy in Doctor Strange. What's his name? Mads Mikkelsen. Anyway, it looks interesting. It looks crazy. I'm excited to play because I've actually never played a Hideo Kojima game. But then Last of Us Part 2, we haven't heard anything about that in a while. In fact, I think E3 last year was the last time we heard anything. I don't know. It doesn't really look that interesting. I know a lot of people think it looks interesting, but that one doesn't look very interesting to me. Ghosts of Tsushima. That one looks interesting. Do you remember that? It was the samurai game from last year.
Oh yes, I do remember that one. That did look interesting. It almost kind of reminded me of For Honor though.
Yeah, it's kind of like For Honor, but it's an open world. It's going to be an open world, set in feudal Japan. I don't know. I can't remember if it's going to be just really accurate or not. I think, if anything, the most likely thing is that we'd get a stream tomorrow about Last of Us Part 2, but they haven't really done anything, so who knows what they're going to do. They're probably just going to do nothing, honestly, and I think that's a huge mistake. Like, gotta build some hype, or, I mean, maybe they could do it right after E3, but it seems like they're making a big mistake. They did have Days Gone just recently. It would seem, at E3 would have been appropriate to announce some DLC. I don't know. I mean, they did DLC for Spider-Man. They didn't for God of War, but they did for Horizon Zero Dawn. But I don't know. I bet they'll do DLC for Days Gone. I mean, it seemed successful enough for them.
Do you think they'll announce DLC for God of War?
No, they're not. It's been out for so long. No. They're not.
I wonder why. It seemed like it was such a popular game. When I watched the trailer at E3 last year, people were so excited about it.
It came out before E3 last year, I think. It's been out for quite a while, but I did read...
Maybe it was 2017.
Yeah, you probably did go back and watch that. You were watching some videos, and in preparation for this, but what the creators, I read an interview, I can't remember who exactly, but it was somebody that was on the development team, said that they had some DLC planned, but it was just too ambitious, so they decided to basically save it for another game.
Wow, so their DLC was so huge they could make a whole new game with it.
Yeah, I really hope that they don't do this again. I feel like this is just a huge mistake. I mean, E3, they should just do what I think it's very appropriate what Nintendo does, and just, show up to E3, have some booths for people to look at your stuff, and then do an announcement through a stream, and you don't have to pay the ridiculous fees to rent a stage and whatnot and coordinate all of that. Because I mean, last year's E3 for Sony was pretty weird. Like, I don't know why they had like music, like live music playing and stuff, and like a show beforehand. It's just, and then they had to like move stages because they wanted to do this thing for their presentation. It's just a mess. They need to not do that. Focus just on games. E3 brings out like the weirdest things, and Bethesda too had a live show for Rage 2, and it's just like, why? I just want to see the game.
Yeah, I remember at Bethesda's there's like this rock concert going on, and everybody in the audience just did not care. So, and that's why people are there. They're there to see what's coming out and get hyped up about the games that are coming out. And so it is disappointing that Sony's not going to be there. Yeah, I think it would be nice if they would at least do a stream or announce that they're going to do a stream right before E3 or right after E3 and have a booth there, because I want to get hyped. I want to see everything that they have planned, and I want to get hyped for what they have planned.
If anything, I think they'll probably just do Last of Us Part 2 or nothing.
Do you think they're going to announce any new games anytime soon?
Probably not. I mean, they could announce something right around E3. I guess that would make a lot of sense. But I think they're kind of holding back for next gen. It seems like they're just waiting to reveal the next hardware officially and then show off a bunch of games that are going to be available day one or close to launch.
Do you think they'll show off the next gen console anytime soon?
Well, that depends. I bet no, because I bet you it's coming out holiday 2020 and not like the rumors are saying early 2020. If it were early 2020, I think they'd be at E3 and they'd be showing off that console. But I don't know. It's a weird time. Sony not showing up to E3 in like 10 years or something like that. But well, those are our thoughts about Sony not coming to E3.
What do you guys think? Leave a comment below.
And remember, all is as the Force wills it.